Hello, can I talk to you about Parish Polls? In June 2007, in the dying weeks of his premiership, Tony Blair signed acceptance of the current EU treaty, stating it was not a revamped version of the European Constitution, rejected by the French and Dutch in 2005, and did not contain any constitutional implications for Britain. Because of this, he said, there was no need for the British people to be given a referendum on it. Within hours, continental politicians were queuing up to declare that the treaty was, in reality, the original 2005 Constitution. Despite this, Blair and his successor Brown, and all Brown's ministers, deny there is any need to hold a referendum promised by all three major political parties in their 2005 manifestos. The text of the treaty has now been released by Open Europe, and it is estimated that 95% of the original Constitution is contained therein. Britain faces the biggest threat to its independence and freedom since 1941. This treaty provides the energy that brings to life the federal state of Europe, in which Britain is broken up into 12 regions or provinces. The British people, as a sovereign, self-governing nation, disappears. Upon ratification, this treaty empowers Brussels formally to assume primacy over Westminster and govern us completely and absolutely. Despite an initial burst of publicity by all the British press, reporting on the treaty has diminished. It is obvious that the government is encouraging interest on the treaty to die, whilst it continues to lie about its true significance. There are two simple objectives in the Parish Poll campaign. First, to ensure that interest in the treaty does not diminish, but increases. Secondly, to tell as many of the British people as possible the truth about the significance of this treaty. Parish polls provide a perfect way in which to attain these two objectives. In addition, the very act of people physically going to a polling station and casting a vote provides a strong symbolic image of the concern most people in Britain have of this treaty. It also challenges Brown's refusal to allow such conduct. If enough parishes become involved in this campaign, it will be hard to be ignored. It must be understood that this is not a campaign to promote or denigrate a political party. There are many organisations, groups and individuals who are concerned about what is happening to our country. And because of that, this is a cross-party, non-party political campaign run under the banner of the Campaign Alliance for Referenda in Parishes, CARP, an independent organisation that successfully ran similar polls in 2000 on the question of the single currency. The Local Government Act of 1972, Schedule 12, Part 3, makes provision for parishioners to call a parish meeting in order to vote on a question, which then must be the subject of a parish poll. In brief, the legislation is as follows. Under Section 15.1 of the above legislation, quotes, "A parish meeting may be convened by any 6 local government electors," those are parishioners on the electoral roll, "for the parish," close quotes. Section 15.2 stipulates that the meeting shall take place within, quote, "not less than 7 clear days," close quote. And under 15.4, it must be well advertised. Section 18.4 states, quote, "A poll may be demanded before the conclusion of a parish meeting on any question arising at the meeting, but no poll shall be taken unless the poll is demanded by not less than 10 or 1/3 of the local government electors present at the meeting, whichever is the less," close quote. Subject to all the above being complied with, the local district council is then obliged to organise and run a poll within 14 to 25 days. A number of important points are worth emphasising at this stage. The Act states that a poll may be demanded, quote, on any question, close quote. The Act does not define any question. However, it does not state in the Act that the question must be on some parish matter or local issue. In our campaign, the question will be, quote, do you want a referendum on the current EU constitutional treaty? Yes or no? Close quotes. Because of the serious threat to our national independence, it is imperative that as many as possible of the polls take place, thereby allowing the greatest number of people the opportunity to express their wishes on the need for a referendum. It is vitally important, therefore, that if you intend to become involved in this campaign, you understand and comply with this legislation to the letter. If you have any queries, please use the help telephone lines listed at the end of this film.